Hi everyone, my name is Ant. You have been asking for a long time. Today we will talk about computer vision on Milk 5. 10 USD board with NPU. Super fast board for computer vision. What can be better from the perspective of development or not? I did a lot of reviews on my channel and I will tell you right away. This is one of the top worst board I have even had. But it's a beautiful puzzle. I spent 3 evenings to understand whereas it and how it works. I launched a few neural networks here, but I didn't do all the tests. You will understand a bit later why. So I won't give you like the final receipt that will guarantee your work with this network, but at least I will help you to understand this platform. So let's start our investigation. This investigation will help you if you want to shoot yourself in the foot, maybe even several times, perhaps with a rocket launcher. If you one of those crazy hobby makers, this board will be specifically for you. And of course, we need to start with two big advantages of this board. Super cheap, extremely cheap, cheaper than Rockchip Logfox board. The cheapest board with NPU for computer vision on board. FP16. There are super small amount of cheap boards with FP16, but this one can proceed your neural network in FP16. And these two pluses are super nice. Okay, let's go. At first glance, the documentation made me think something was fishy here. There are two examples of launching YOLO v5 and a few examples of launching classification neural networks. But why are there two examples of YOLO v5? It seems that they are for different versions of chipset, but in practice none of the pre-built inferences binaries are suitable for Milk Duo 256, even the one where it's directly written that it's suitable. They, at least some of them, are built for SV 180X chipset, but the chipset here is SV 181X. Interesting. Moreover, in practice, it turns that 90% of system libraries are already installed in the base image. And you just don't need half of this documentation. You don't need to copy anything on your board. All like OpenCV libraries and stuff like this, they already built and already in system path, and they already in the base image. Okay, that's not all. If you will continue to look on all repositories that directly related to Milk 5 source code, you can find something mysterious. There is no example anywhere for call the neural network inference directly. Everything is already built for classification neural networks, so there are no C++ or Python script how you can run your neural network, your specific neural network. There is no code with built examples. The only example that exists is for YOLO v5. It doesn't build with proposed pipeline, at least I couldn't build this myself, and a lot of errors occurred. But that's not what we're talking about here. Just look at how they call the neural network. There is no like direct neural network inference here. It's just YOLO v5 inference with all pre-processing and all post-processing encapsulated. We already saw this on one of the board previously, so just you need to look at the library that directly provide your inferences. Otherwise, the only neural network that you can run with all these scripts from Milk 5, it's YOLO v5. And the real inference hidden somewhere in the compilated library. Let's look at the header. There are dozens of functions here. And it seems that even a function with like direct neural network inference, we are looking for it. But there are no examples anywhere in the internet with this specific function, as well as in documentation. In general, documentation is not available for all of these calls in the header. So it's just random header in the internet without any documentation how you need to prepare your data. Okay, well, at this point I decide that probably Milk 5 site is not the best place to look your documentation for. Everything is based on Sophon chip and Sophon framework, tpu-mlir, if I pronounce this correctly. And everything is much better here. It even looks like an example of inference of neural network, like direct inference. A lot of samples, but wait. There is no GitHub. There is no code. And the sources are provided by the manufacturer to official partners. What? Okay, at this point you just can take the name of the function from example on this site and just try to Google this. And you will find a few samples in the internet, usually like it's some Chinese forums, but there are a few samples how you can call everything. And in some of these samples, you can find a link on password protected FTP where is a full documentation with full instruction and stuff all like this. But probably, I don't know, is it okay to show such documents in the internet? Maybe they confidential, I don't know. Okay, there are even a few links on official Saffron forum, so I think they are okay with this, that someone posting like confidential documentation in the internet, I don't know. Plus, in one of the Milk 5 guides, there is a little link in the bottom of the link of the page without any description, with link on the same FTP. But on this FTP there is no confidential documents probably. Okay, let's use just this. And this is where you can find an example of calling a neural network. Same code from Saffron official documentation. And all examples are okay. Both for YOLO v5 and for classifier. I tested them, they already pre-built. You can find pre-built samples here. Yes, you can infer your neural network in FP16, you can infer this like directly. And at this point, at the moment where I stop my investigation, not this moment, but there is an official guide of how to set up cross-compilation. Of course, it's C++ and C cross-compilation. And this guide is pretty bad. There are no links or what you need to install to run all this stuff. There is like some Docker, but it doesn't work nice for me. But there is no like description which version of CMake you need to build all this stuff. Like there is no. I tried a dozen different options, but everything is more or like the same. Like compilants dropped somewhere in the middle. build crashed. There are a guide in Chinese that mentions that you need to the correct version of everything, but there is no clear definition of what is everything. To me, it looks more like solvable issue. It's not like general theoretical question with neural network inference and stuff like this. Yeah, yes, here is like source codes, here is like build sample, so it's possible. You just need to spend probably like a week or a few days to set up this. I spent like 3 days, not full days, by 3 evenings, and I couldn't resolve all these issues. So I thinking that it can be tested, but because of this, I didn't provide any metrics for speed and inference. For existing sample, it's look quite nice, and the speed look almost the same like LogFox that I already described, but I couldn't like tell you exact numbers of the inference speed. So let me stop a little and say what I thinking about this board. Mm, this board is super crude. Documentation, codes around this. There is not a single guide that would be sufficient to run everything from the scratch. At the same time, it seemed not enough information to do this. And no one's no one wants to use this board, in my opinion. There are a lot of competitors, for example, like LogFox board, same size, like just $3 more and so on, and you will not have all this problem with documentation, with unworking examples and stuff like this. Probably you can, like, if you have a lot of money and you specifically want to use Saffron processor, you can just ask direct support and direct sources. And of course, it's better if you like building your platform from scratch. What I don't like about the code from both vendors, like Rockchip, from Milk 5, from Saffron, like it's the approach to from Milk 5 and Saffron to export. Rockchip says, we can't use original YOLO v5, but we made a fork of the official repository that works. Here is this fork. Okay, what does Milk 5 say? Change this line, and after that it will work, but what will happen on the next upgrade of YOLO repository? And it's the same approach to every code. Code in guides for 3 different board models. Some samples doesn't work. Nowhere is written clearly about each boards. Some link to source without any documentation. Can it be fixed in future? Certainly. But at the moment, you just need to spend a lot of time to develop your computer vision solution for this specific board. And I just don't like it at this point. Maybe in future, like with next board, it will be better. But at this point, it's completely negative review. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you at least somehow. So ask your question in comments. Bye.